Hey D&D YouTubers, my name is Dr. DM, and today we have the new expert group UA for D&D 1. And previous videos I looked at the kind of the general parts aspects of the new UA and the new groups and what I think about all that. We also looked at Bard and Ranger, so check those out here at Green and Garb if you want to know more about those. I break them down, my thoughts on them, what's new, what's different, what's at different levels, is it powerful, is it weak, does it need a little bit more playtesting. So here we're going to look at Rogue, which is the third of the expert group classes. So let's dive straight into it. This is going to be a good one and see what we think. So, Rogue. Class group expert. Again, as I mentioned in the other videos, that simply means that this is a class that is in a group with two other classes, in this case, Rogue and Bard, and they all get the expertise feature, which is, you can double proficiency bonus on two skills, and that's their category now, their class group. And the primary ability for Rogue is Dexterity, as it always has been. You want it for your armor, get your AC up. You want it for your to hit. You want it for all your stealthing and sleight of handing and picking pockets and all that fun stuff. So, and it's also what's going to be a requirement to enter the class with the multi-class and so forth. We all love rogues. Who doesn't love rogues? They are pretty badass and cunning stealth, get the foe's vulnerabilities, and your general sneakster. So let's see what's changed with these and get into it. Creating a rogue. What does a rogue have? Armor training. Again, no proficiencies, just training. That means same thing. This is what the armor is that you can use. And it's going to be light features and so forth. Get your starting equipment, multi-classing and rogues, and rogue class features, and of course a subclass, which is thief in this case. Rogue. First level 1 through 20. Proficiency bonus, that's the same. Sneak attack, I checked. That's still the same. Of course, it's half your rogue level. That's not changed at all. Expertise. Now, it is a little bit lame that two other classes have expertise because I guess Bard had it too, but now Ranger has it. And I'm not sure if Rogue got enough to kind of make up for giving that away. But, it's good that everyone has an option to be a more diverse kind of character when it comes to building it. So expertise really helps you do that because you can really focus in on what you want your character to do and be. You got Sneak Attack and Thieves Can't. Cunning Action, which changed a little bit. Get your subclass at third level. All of the third level feats, including ASI is a feat now. And more. So let's really deep dive into Rogue. D8, stay the same. You got your Dex and Intelligence as your saving throws. Dex, which of course is probably one of the strongest saving throws. I mean, you're always going to, as a DM, unfortunately, you will kind of always default to Dex as one of the go-to saving throws. So having that in your repertoire is so important. Something breaks or something falls, or you're having to traverse this. Dex saving throw, Dex saving throw. Charisma is used less, con is used. So especially if you're a new DM, you'll probably default a lot to Dex. So take Dex if you're a player, and it's going to help you out. Until you start incorporating high-level monsters, things like that require more in different saving throws. Okay. Skills, acrobatics, investigation, sleight of hand, stealth, or you can choose 4 from any of these categories. And I wouldn't say it's all the skills, but that's a huge amount on top of what you get for your background. So you are the skill master here as Rogue, so that hasn't changed. Simple weapons, martial weapons that have the finesse property. I don't think Rogue had that before. I think they just had simple weapons, right? Simple weapons, hand crossbows, longbows, rapiers, and short swords. So yeah, now you kind of you have a little more leeway with this, but still finesse, which is what you want to be using anyway, because you're going to be deep into Dex as your rogue. Get 20 ASAP, and you automatically get these tools, which is great. Why bother with anything else? This is how you pick locks and do all the fun rogue James Bond stuff. So light armor, equipment, which is 110 gold pieces of equipment. Your choice, which I mentioned already a couple times before. I love that. You can choose what's here. If you're a new player, you just want to, this is what I get as a rogue. Here's my pack. Okay, I'm going to go with this. I'm good with this. That's fine. But definitely choose to buy your own stuff once you have any amount of time in the game, because you're going to find be happy with your character because it's going to be built however you want, right? Maybe you don't want to have, maybe you want to, forego some of the better weapons to get studded leather armor or whatever. or not take a bow at all and take a crossbow. Dual wield crossbows, right? Because that's badass. All right, multiclassing the rogue, you got to have a 13 dex to do that. If you multiclass into it, this is pretty awesome now. When you multiclass into a class, you do get freebies, right? On top of the first level stuff, you do get proficiencies for free. And here you get Thieves Tools for free, so good reasons to dip. And you also get light armor training when you take your first level rogue. All right, class features. Expertise. They recommend sleight of hand and stealth. Those are pretty good. Perception is also good for a rogue because you want to see stuff. Actually, it's funny. Is that even a possibility here? Perception is here as one of the subcategories. We have a rogue in Chronicles, the Frostfire Chronicles of Legends. We didn't have perception for the longest time, so it's a Bahara. And so every time she's trying to sneak around or figure out what's going on, I was like, okay, roll perception, and inevitably she would have like I think a -1 to its wisdom. And you feel like, okay, I want to sneak around, but I don't know what the hell is going on here, so I can't. So take proficiency even if you're a rogue, even if it's not wisdom, shore that up. So it's pretty important. Sneak attack. Okay, sneak attack is that lovely, not only flavor but its legacy ability of rogue. It's been around forever. You want a sneak attack because the damage and the d6s are part of the fun of rogue. Okay, you hit with attack roll, you attack with a finesse weapon or a ranged weapon, and what are the requirements? Advantage on the attack roll. Great, that was there before. Or allies adjacent, was there before. Okay, good. Roll d6s up to 10d6, a lot of cool dice. By the time you get 8d6, right, your sneak attack is a fireball. And yeah, that's cool. So Thieves Can't. You get Thieves Can't and another language of your choice. So based wherever your rogue's from, you pick up the street lingo on top of the Thieves Can't, which is pretty cool. And those was originally level 1 ability as well. Cunning Action was also level 2 ability that hasn't changed. On your turn, you can take one of the following actions. It's a bonus action: dash, disengage, or hide. Okay. Now, I'll be honest. A lot of rogues dual wield. Why do rogues dual wield? Other than, that is the dream, right? That's the cool theme. You got your dual wielding, right? Rogues in the shadows. It's just a really, I've always loved dual wielding. Anytime you see it in a game, whether it's with, the Matrix with the guns or with daggers or with swords or whatever, dual wielding is just cool. All right. So, but why in reality, mechanically, did rogues take or dual wield? That's because rogues do not get the extra attack. Many, your ranger, your paladin, your fighter, and so forth, they get extra attack at 5th level. Rogues did not. So how can rogues kind of get to the extra attack level without having extra attack or having to multiclass? Well, you dual wield, right? Because you take your attack action. When you take your attack action, you use your bonus action to dual wield. So it's really important to have the dual wield for rogues, because in the event you miss your attack and you only have one attack, then your sneak attack is going completely to waste that whole turn. Well, I mean, you can do it maybe an opportunity attack and so forth, but in reality, it feels bad, man. You miss with your main attack, your sneak attack is done on your turn. If you can dual wield, though, you miss the attack, but you still have another opportunity to get in with an attack to apply sneak attack. So I am getting ahead of myself a little bit because this is covered later in the glossary. But now, when you take the attack action and you're dual wielding, right? You have a weapon in each hand. You can make another attack with your offhand weapon just as part of the attack action, not as your bonus action. So now thieves that are dual wielding can always do 2 attacks as long as you're dual wielding. That means your bonus action is now freed up for dash, disengage, and hide. That's so important because this was kind of core to what it is to be a rogue, to dash, disengage, and hide. But having to dual wield, having to have a way to get another attack in there, other than, you're sacrificing your sneak attacks or sacrificing your combat prowess, that sucks. So now, with that baked into your attack action, having the bonus action to dash, disengage, and hide is fantastic. So dual wield as a rogue if you want to get that extra attack, and do this every turn. Get your disengage, get your hide, roll that, so when you're hiding, you can get your advantage next time your turn is up, or kind of get out of the line of fire if you're weak, or if you're not really a sturdy character in the first place, so you want to be doing this. This is fantastic. This is a beautiful change. Even though Cunning Action hasn't changed itself, you'll be using Cunning Action more often, and you'll want your players to do that if you're a DM. Okay, Rogue subclass. which is, again, Thief, which we'll look at in just a minute. Got your fourth level feat, which is ASI as a feat, or another feat of your choice. Uncanny Dodge, which is fantastic. Rogues are so hard to hit. They're so slippery. They're so mobile. I love it. It's a good challenge for you to get around as a DM, and a good way to make your weak rogue into a survivable character. Expertise. Got your feat. You got evasion. Make that fireball do no damage. That's not changed. More feats. Subclass feature, reliable talent. When you make an an ability check, it uses one of your skill or 2 proficiencies. You can treat a 20 d20 roll of 9 or less as a 10. And did this change a little bit? No, it's the same. It's just 11th level. It's also 11th level there. Feat. Subtle strikes. This is new. When you take your attack action, you know how to exploit a target's distraction. You have advantage on any attack roll. The target's creature is within 5 feet. At least one ally who isn't incapacitated. So this is pretty cool, and you obviously definitely want to be dual wielding here because both your attacks will be at advantage as long as someone's next to it with these subtle strikes. So boom, boom. Unfortunately, we haven't found out if sneak attack can crit, as in do the double damage. We'll see if that critical roll change stays. We'll see. Subclass feature, Slippery Mind. This happened. Yeah, this is the same thing. You have proficiency in wisdom and critical saving throws. I think they added charisma, which is really cool. You can take off 4 saving throws here for rogue. So again, with the survivability and the kind of like their inquisitive, their slipperiness, right? It's all baked in there. They are elusive. This is previously 18th level. Now it's 17th. No attack roll has advantage against you while you're incapacitated. While you aren't incapacitated, I should say. Stroke of Luck. This was previous capstone. All the capstones are going down to 18th level. If you fail a d20 test, you can turn the roll into a 20. This is pretty cool. Again, it's not really, really powerful, but it is on a short rest. So if you're dungeon crawling, holy cow, amazing. Just lots of successes, lots of luck, lots of getting out of trouble. That's what Rogue's all about. And now your epic boons to 20th level can help you break that cap. And once you're 20th level, if you ever get there, if you just make a 20th level campaign, you have a way to improve your character at 20th and beyond. So, Rogue subclass. Thief. You've honed your larcenous art. Thief was Rogue back, in AD&D. You didn't play Rogue, you just played a thief. And you loved it. So, your Han Solo, treasure seekers, explorers, delvers, investigators, great. This has gone through a lot of changes. So, fast hands. Fast hands now is when you use your bonus action for your cunning action, you can also use that bonus action to search. Or when, for sleight of hand, you make a dexterity check, sleight of hand, to pick a lock or disarm a trap. And this is now with your bonus action. So that's kind of insane. And you can do it in combat to get you in and out of a door or whatever you got to do. So that's great. Before, I think it was just for disarming traps, opening locks. I'm just double checking here to make sure I remember that. So good, that's a good change. Third level, so 2 third level abilities. Second story work. This was also previously a third level ability for Thief. You're going to climb speed equal to your speed. That's really good. And when you take the jump action, you can make a dex check instead of a strength check. So I think you're this is breaking the rules. That's what rogues love to do. So here you got it. And yeah, I think that before you just got like extra bonuses to these things, like you could jump further within your dex. So I like being able to just change everything to dex, so you're really dex focused and you don't have to be mad. You can be sad. Multi-attribute dependent. Single. Okay. So 6th level Supreme Sneak. You have advantage on every dex check, provided you are wearing medium heavy armor. That's great. And use magic device. So before, this was 13th level, and it's gone down to 10th. So I like this. I love the flavor of this, and I love the legacy feature of this. So when you can tune up to 4 magic items, so really good. You can, again, break the rules there. And whenever you use a magic item, you roll a d6, and a 6, you do not expend a charge of that magic item, which is really cool. Before, thieves are the ones you turn to when, I'm talking about back in previous edition, 2nd edition, and so forth, basic. They could use scrolls, and even 3rd edition, I think. They could use scrolls and magic items without being a magic class, right? A warrior fighter could not, but a thief could. So you could always rely on them to use magic device. If things got, somebody in your party was dead, they could, or you didn't even have one. So this is a really cool throwback. I love use magic device here on Thief. So You can, oh, here it is for spell scrolls. Again, this was not in the previous ones. This has been added, and this is great. So you can use a spell scroll that bears a cantrip or a first level spells. You can use a spell scroll of higher level, but you got to make an Arcana check. So make sure you expertise that, right? So you can do that well if you wanna go this route. Really cool. I love this. I think that it's a way to make Thief, first of all, not kind of I'm not just like a burglar, right? Here I can do old school D&D Thieves. It really harkens back to that old Thief, the old like graying beard Thief. No, the old Thief from the previous editions. This is beautiful, and I love that you're not just kind of pigeonholed into doing thievy things. You can now do what thieves were always meant to do, which was do magic stuff too. And you had that with Arcane Trickster before, but now even if you're not that, you can be that. Okay, Thieves Reflexes. What do you get? You can take a second bonus action in your turn, provided it is from the bonus action from Cunning Action. So this is pretty cool. You can feature on a number of turns equal to your proficiency bonus, which we've seen a lot now. Okay, you know what I'm seeing here a little bit is that this looks like one of the abilities that if you have seen Baldur's Gate 3, the new game coming out, that's it's based on the D&D Sword Coast IP. Thieves, like the subclass Thieves, have 2 bonus actions. So I wonder if they're taking some ideas from Larian's new game too for this. But it's a 14th level, so it's gonna take you a while to get there. Don't expect this to be busting out 2 bonus actions a turn anytime soon. So yeah, Thief for subclass looks fabulous. So big change, and this was a player's handbook class previously, so I'm glad they shored it up. They made it really good now. And rogues are in a great place right now. They have been in a great place, and they're kind of looking even better now. Definitely play a rogue if you love what rogues do. If you just want to be a slippery badass who can do a little bit of everything, and use magic device now, which is awesome. So, all right. Well, this has been Rogue for the new expert classes UA. I think it's looking pretty good. Let me know what you think below. And we'll be going into Feats and the rules glossary a little bit as well in one more video. So look forward to that. Thank you very much for watching.